From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBacks, the PrimeTime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles Live, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you're feeling the same, and man, it is Thursday. We are a day away from starting a great weekend of football, you know what I mean? So pretty much we'll all be stuck to the couch for the next, 6 months or so. And just enjoying the game and enjoying the bets and trying to go ahead and, improve incomes and things of that nature. But all in all, though, we have ourselves a great show on tap today. And let's go ahead and start off our show today talking about the Florida State Seminoles. I think the Florida State Seminoles are a little bit far away from where they want to be right now. I think that this team is a team that you wish that could still be elite in a sense, because they could go ahead and really run the table there in the ACC and not make it just a Clemson world that it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Florida State, they do have a better coach in charge right now. It was a little bit of a mess a few years back, losing games to Boise State, but having substantial leads in that game as well, too. So there's a lot of things that can work out in their favor this year, because the ACC, I feel, is going to have a down year this year. Now, when you look at FSU, the reason why I'm bringing them up is because they haven't really been that relevant since the late, great Bobby Bowden, who passed away a few weeks ago as well, too, at the tender age of 93. So, last time they had some juice here. They had Jimbo Fisher, Jameis Winston as well, too, and they had some a bevy of NFL talent. Jalen Ramsey, who's seen as one of the elite corners in the NFL right now. And then you have a lot of guys that played parts on this team that are really great role players in the NFL as well, too. To name one, to name a guy, Sam Snead, who's absolutely been good for the last few years and everything like that. So pretty much all in all, though, man, this is a team that's on the up and up, I feel, but they're not going to be as good as they should be at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They got to be, they're going to have to be better this year. They're going to have to kind of, maybe score some points on Clemson. It's just ugly to see how bad they get beat by Clemson year in and year out nowadays, man. And that they do have the old ball coach there, Dabo Swinney, who was a part of that Florida State regime with Bobby Bowden. He took that mentality up to Clemson, but he twisted it up and made his own with it as well, too. So I think Florida State has a big proving point and a big proving game against Notre Dame to open up the season next week. So it should be fun next Sunday. I think that is going to be one of the better games of the season as well, too. And it's going to tell us exactly who Florida State is from day one. Will they be a team that kind of starts slow, or will they be a team that's going to be able to compete this year with the likes of a Notre Dame and a Clemson this year in the ACC, which should be an improved year for this Florida State team as well, because as I said before, I feel like that it is going to be a down year in this conference as well, too. So there we go with that. And pretty much we move forward to our next topic in hand, and that's going to be us talking a little bit of NFL before we get into this NFL preview. And that's going to be the word on the street. Mac Jones, is he going to be the starter for the New England Patriots with Cam Newton out with the COVID situation? We will have to see at the end of the day. Mac Jones is a very, very keen prospect. He's a guy that's coming fresh off of a national championship in a very dominant performance, but with a very dominant team as well, too. Najee Harris, another first-rounder for him. Waddle, who was out most of the season, is another first rounder as well. And then you also have the Heisman Trophy winner, Devonta Smith, another first rounder. So there's a lot of good guys that came off of that offense as well, too, that performed at a high level. So Mac Jones is really getting the playbook and everything like that with Belichick. I think that this is going to be something that's going to work in their favor moving forward, but I don't think that Belichick starts the rookie day one. I just don't. It's just Belichick. I know how Belichick operates. He's going to let the rookie earn his way into the spot. I know it looks really good in preseason and everything like that, but they said he was on fire in a practice session against the Giants. But the Giants, I don't assume we're going 100% in that situation as well, too, because those practices are more like a walkthrough than anything. So pretty much, I don't know if you can bank on that, but with Cam Newton out, not getting those valuable snaps right now, it does open it up for Mac Jones. But Cam Newton's been in the league over a decade. Mac Jones has only been in the league for a few months. So when you look at it, who gives you the best opportunity to win? And I think that we can all agree at this moment in time that Cam Newton is that guy that can help them win football games this year, early in the season. But you know what? Mac Jones could be Brady-like. Brady did not get the start though right away because he had to wait for Drew Bledsoe for injuries to happen, and then he was able to take over for Drew Bledsoe. So I think that what happens here is once you have a situation where Cam might have a back situation, shoulder situation, something of that nature, they'll go ahead and start Mac Jones. But I think for now, Cam's job is pretty safe. But I'm saying that today and tomorrow, Belichick can make his decision on who the starter is going to be. But I don't know if he's going to trust a rookie because this guy isn't as cerebral as a Tom Brady. Tom Brady came in there working as hard as possible. He was constantly in the film room. He was constantly in the quarterback room, learning. So when it was his chance, he came in and he was able to be a great game manager. And I don't know, and Mac Jones has game manager potential as well too. But Tom Brady, that's what he was in the beginning, a great game manager and a guy that was able to make the right plays at the right time and had a knack to go ahead and continue drives even when it was fourth and forever as well too. So there's a lot of elements that worked out for Tom Brady to make him such a dominant quarterback early in his career. I don't think Mac Jones has those intangibles because he doesn't have the same type of starting quarterback ahead of him like Tom Brady did with an excellent quarterback that was on his way to a Hall of Fame career before that injury derailed him. So at the end of the day, this is what we got. I think that the Patriots will not let this be a distraction because they're the type of team that it does not let these type of situations be distractions. So all in all, that's what I see going down with the Pats, and I think that they're in good shape, to be honest with you. But let's go ahead and jump into it. The NFL preview for today, and I know a lot of my folks who are watching the show on Facebook today should get pretty excited because it's about their San Francisco 49ers and the 49ers coming through with a team that was very, very good 2 years ago. They were able to go to the Super Bowl. They looked good in the Super Bowl. Everything worked out very well for this team when it came down to the Super Bowl and everything like that. So pretty much that's what you have here with a team, the 49ers, who are now in place to really be able to, move forward because they have themselves a quarterback that they can bank on for the next 5 years or so with Trey Lance. But then they still have a guy that signed for a whole lot of money, and that's going to be Jimmy G. And Jimmy G was chosen to be the guy to run this offense a few years back. It was a mid-season trade as well, too. But the San Francisco 49ers are looking into the future and looking into the future pretty quickly as well, too, with the emergence of Trey Lance being such a hyped situation because a lot of people are kind of fed up with Jimmy G. Jimmy G had an injury last year that kind of derailed the season, that kind of threw him off. But Greg Kittle was hurt most of the year as well, too. There was a lot of just elements that made San Francisco a 6-10 team, but they probably were the best 6-10 team you'll ever see take the field as well, too. They had a really good season, in my opinion, because they got really good wins throughout the season as well, too. They were able to sweep the They were able to get some big wins over the Rams. They were able to get big wins over the Cardinals as well too. And this was a team that started off well. You saw them opening day; they absolutely crushed it, and then injuries started to pile up. And that's what it is at the end of the day. San Francisco, when they're a very healthy team, they're a very good team. When they're not healthy, they're a middling team. So I know that there's a lot of fans there that expect their quarterback to be the savior somewhat of their situation right now. But I don't think that I think that maybe you should simmer your expectations just a little bit when it comes down to this team as well too. At the end of the day, they're very good, but they're going to have to be very healthy as well too to have a really, really, really good season this year. And I know San Francisco 49er fans are very excited about what possibilities can happen with a guy like Trey Lance. Reason being is because he was a big winner at North Dakota State, the same university as Carson Wentz. So they've provided quarterbacks that can play in the NFL. And so that's why you have a big hype going for this kid as well, too, because he went to a school that really is good for the FCS. And they are pretty much like the Alabama of the FCS. So he took a year off to really get his skills together, really get his mechanics together, but he still needed to have some game tape for last season as well, too. So there's a lot of things that make it that point towards Jimmy G being the starting quarterback day one. That doesn't mean he's going to be the starting quarterback throughout the season. But I think as long as San Francisco wins, that's exactly what Shanahan wants this team is going to be more run heavy than anything, even though they don't have the same oof that they had a few years back in the run game. I still think that it will be a positive for this team moving forward because they have a great offensive line. And that offensive line, as long as that offensive line can stay healthy and as long as that defense can go ahead and be studs like they were a few years back during their Super Bowl run, the Niners will be right in the thick of things in the NFC West and in the NFC as well, too, from what I'm seeing. But if they don't have those things, it'll be just like last season. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's my preview, and that's my 2 cents on the San Francisco 49ers moving forward. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about the Seattle Seahawks. So all my Seahawk fans, be ready for that. It's just kind of like an NFC West party here for the next few days. So with that, I will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And as you guys can see, it is time for Blue Crew Daily. The Dodgers got an exciting win last night. It took 16 innings last night, so that was a pretty late game for the West Coast and a very late game for the East Coast last night because that game started at 10 o'clock back east, started at 7 here. So if you say 6 hours after it was a 6-hour game ended at 1 a.m. last night. So that means it ended at 4 a.m. So all the Brooklyn faithful who still love the Dodgers and still watch the Dodgers, they should have been very happy about that staying up to 4 a.m. for a victory. AJ Pollock hit a monster shot over the center field wall to go ahead and win this game yet last night as well too. Tatis did do his best though to keep his team in the game. They were down 2 runs in the 15th, and he was able to hit a monster homer. But AJ Pollock comes right back up and hits a monster homer of his own, and pretty much the Dodgers move on and get themselves a great win against the Padres last night. That was much needed, and they hold the fort down at 2.5 behind the Giants. The Giants have themselves a critical game tonight going against the Mets. I think that this will be a very tough. They do have a decent on the mound for the night, and the Giants do have one of their better pitchers there. But you know how these series work out and things of that nature. Yesterday Padres as well too. And the Padres actually have lucked out because the Reds have had a rough week against the Brewers as well too. So they haven't really lost any games or amount of game. They haven't lost any ground on chasing that wild card, but it is starting to become a very vital for. So pretty much the Dodgers are in position where they've left the and they're really trying to go ahead and finish them off. Why is he saying they're going to finish them off like 6 weeks before the season's over? I think that when you lose series like this one, like if you lose a series, this one, especially getting swept by your arch rival, the Dodgers, a team that you actually were up to trying to keep up with, then you wind up, pretty much falling apart from that point. And the Dodgers have a big series coming up against the Giants as well, too. I right now, hitting and pitching wise. So there's no real, worries if you're a Dodger fan right now. But that was a huge win last night. I know they had to get it long down 1-0 for majority of the game. Blake Snell pitched the absolute gem, and then he gets a hit. Then he gets a ball hit off of him. The manager makes the decision to go ahead and go get the bullpen in there. Next thing you know, Will Smith hits a home run. So that was on the judgment of the Giants last night. So, on the judgment of the Pirates last night. So it is what it is at the end of the day. And the Dodgers a good win. So and you guys, sorry about the little delays and everything like that. We're having a little bit of internet issues, but it's all good. We're trying to work through it. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt the show. So, pretty much let's go ahead and talk about our first group in hand for Thursday preview. It's going to be a good one here too. It's going to be the DBacks and the Phillies. And the funny part about this game is it's actually went ahead and it's moved around a lot. It seems like this game is at 175 at some books. It's at plus 135 at other books. It's plus 150 at other books. I got it at plus 135. I'm how the run line works in this situation as well too. It's telling me that this game will wind up being an upset special force today. I think that you got a Phillies team bringing in a kid bringing in Eflin who's been out for a little bit. This game back, You're going against a team that had your number last weekend in Arizona as well too. So I think this game works out in the favor of the Diamondbacks today. I think that this is the upset special, to be dead honest with you, and I really like what I see moving forward in this game as well too. So we're gonna see how it goes and see how it shakes out. I know it sounds crazy now, but just walk with me. Usually when you walk with me, things work out real well for us, don't it? So just pretty much walk with me on this one as well too. And I think that the Diamondback deserve right to be the dog of the day. All right, so we move on to our next game, and that's going to be the Red Sox and the Twins. The Twins coming in as a plus 220 doggy dog, with the Red Sox being minus 275. You had a good win from the Twins yesterday. The Twins came in there and they absolutely, pretty much messed up everybody's money yesterday. A lot of us thought that possibly the Red Sox should run away with this game. They spotted the Twins a 4-0 lead. The Twins never looked back. Wind up winning the game 9-6 yesterday. Today they come back with pretty confident. But the Red Sox are in must-win mode as well too. They can't keep just dropping games, but you shouldn't be surprised anymore because the Red Sox are just having a bad time out there. But they have Chris Sale on the mound today. Chris Sale is 2-0 on the season, 13 strikeouts, over 1 walk, 1.80 ERA. He's been absolutely dynamite in both of his games, but that was against Baltimore and against Texas, two lowly teams, and this was at home. But Minnesota's a lowly team as well too, and I think that Chris Sale will be able to get it done today. So I think this is a good spot for everybody to kind of maybe overpay just a little bit and get the Red Sox maybe on the run line today. But I would say play the under. I think that, pretty much John Gant, who's a good pitcher. He was a real good pitcher in St. Louis. He comes back around. He's 4-7 on the season, but he has a good ERA, 3.77, strikeout rate 73 over 59. So, he does get a lot of walks and things like that, but he's not giving up a lot of runs either. And in his last game, he did kind of get he beat up a bit by the Yankees, and he got beat up a bit by Tampa Bay. So pretty much that's where a lot of people will probably bank on. But I think today, though, that the Red Sox get themselves a comfortable lead. Chris Sale goes ahead and leads the way, and they keep this game under 10. But you can go ahead and take them on the run line as well, too. Money line is not a good bet here. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But there it is, Red Sox and Twins. All right, we move on to a game that I was talking about just a moment ago, and this is going to be the game at Citi Field tonight. That's going to be the Giants at the Mets once again. I pretty much covered this game all week, and once again, we have another good spot here. The Mets are in a must-win situation. The Giants, once again, 82-44, best record in baseball. So if they have an issue with tonight's game, then that's okay. But Carlos Carrasco hasn't pitched well at all. This guy is gave up 6 runs against the Dodgers at home on the 15th, gave up 4 against Washington at home as well, too. And then his best outing in the last 5 outings was against Cincinnati. So tonight he goes against the hottest hitting, the top hitting team in baseball, and the Giants, a top 10 team. And, this team hits a lot of home runs as well, too. So he's going to have to be careful out here against this team. He can't go out there and, try to, overpower, over-dominate these guys, because those are the pitches that they're looking for. Alex Wood, the left-hander, who's kind of been, a very consistent force with this team this year as well, too. So that's something for them to look at as well, too, in the pit for the playoffs, pitching wise. That they got Alex Wood, a guy that did pitch in the World Series as well, too, a few years back with the Dodgers. So this should be a very, very peculiar spot. I know a lot of people will be in love with the Giants today, but I say that this is the type of game where they're going to trick you, because the thing is, they're in New York, and there's a possibility that pretty much they can just say, hey, we got a game tomorrow, we got to fly out right after this, so we'll just go ahead and cruise through the evening. So these are the spots you don't want to fall into. And so pretty much I do like the Mets tonight to go ahead and win this game. I know Carlos Carrasco has been getting absolutely destroyed, but I think tonight he might be able to make some adjustments tonight against this Giants team that already is chomping at the bit as from what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Because you look at the numbers and you look at his ERA and you say to yourself, this might be a long night, but we'll see how it goes. All right, we got a divisional game. Go with the Cards and the Pirates. This one should be a fun one. You got the Cards coming in here minus 165, road favorites tonight. Then you got the Pirates who have been able to step it up as a dog at the house this year. But they got Mitch Keller on the mound, 66 over 35. And then you got Miles Mikolas on the mound, who's making his third start of the year. And he's done pretty well in both of his starts. He just wasn't able to get a win last time out. This was against the Pirates as well, too. So he was a part of the decision last time out. He wasn't a part of the decision the first time around. So this one, when I look at it, I think that the Cards get their sweet revenge, and they've been able to beat up on the Pirates for a while now. And I think that they go ahead and get themselves a nice win tonight, because I know a lot of people are going to take the Pirates as a dog play tonight, and that might not be helpful for you tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. Yankees and A's, and probably the game of the night. I think that this one's going to wind up being a fun game as well, too. What I'm going to do here is, though, I'm going to watch the scoreboard, and I think that we're going to go ahead and get the over tonight here. And then we're going to go ahead and end with the nightcap, Royals and the Mariners. Royals are a live dog tonight, but I think run line is better for you. Plus 1.5 is the play for me here. So pretty much that's where I'm going to rock here, and that's where we're going to go here. So with that, when I get back, we're going to go ahead and talk pick six. So you guys just stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back with the stretch drive of the show. Really like the last few furlongs of the show. I got Delmar on my mind. I won't have enough time to do horsing around today, but we will be back tomorrow with horsing around with the Twilight card, and then Saturday as well too, the final big card of the meet, and then also Sunday as well too. But today I'll be tweeting out my winners for you guys and tweeting out my card for you, but I won't be doing the show today, so you guys stay tuned to that. But I'm excited though. I got Delmar this afternoon, so I'm with it. I'm ready for it. So let's go ahead and jump into it real quick, and let's go ahead and look at the MLB PrimeTime PK6 and where's the value at tonight. And it looks like we're going to have a 56-1 ticket tonight. It's going to be the Diamondbacks, as I said before. Whatever number you get is going to be a good number, but this is the number that I wound up with. So pretty much I'm going to go ahead and take the plus 130 here with the Diamondbacks tonight. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the Mets with the plus 105. Also have the Cardinals here with the run line minus 1.5. Then we have the under 10 with the Red Sox and the Twins tonight, the plus 1.5 with the Royals tonight. But you can money line that bad boy as well too. And I think that you can go ahead and maybe do what we did the other night on Monday and play the alternate run line here as well too. So let's see how it goes, see how it shakes out. And then we got the game of the night. Tough call here on who to pick, but I got the over 8.5 Yanks and A's, and you guys have to remember the Yanks are one of the hottest teams in all of baseball, if not the hottest team in all of baseball. So it should be a pretty good night tonight, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. We got Thursday. It's Thursday, so we're very, very keen on some things, and hopefully everything can work out in the sense to where everybody's cashing some tickets tonight. That's why I always say single what you like. So pretty much with that, I want to thank you guys very much for tuning into the show today. I'll be back tomorrow at noon once again to go over the angles for you guys, and we got the Seattle Seahawks to talk about as well too. So you guys make sure to tune in, and once again, as I always say, if you got a hunch, bet a bunch. If you, don't bet with your heart, bet with your head, not with your heart. And as always, the movement is moving, and this is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.